that
when I'm
in
talking
your
about,
structure?
I'm talking about the part of it. A lot of them I'm just talking about with the system that the mayor's, the jail system. The
Okay. Okay.
So that.
Because that's all he talking about. I don't want to care about how many more cops he done put on the street. It ain't working. But go ahead.
And these two go together, or three slash, so they're slash economic development advocacy slash youth opportunities slash reducing food desert slash diversity advocacy and inclusion.
Okay. Councilor Graves.
Yeah, so like I said earlier in the show, I've attended about 400 meetings, whether it was community-based festivals, citywide, otherwise, meetings that I would not have probably attended had I not been interested in learning what the people in my community want and need. I came away from those meetings with three things that I have identified as criminal justice reform, community revitalization, and just a general sense of care for our community, which is being approachable and available when needed. So within that criminal justice reform, one of the things that I heard the people say that they want is they want us to focus on those stressors of poverty and why people move into a life of crime, because we all know that it's almost a setup for failure, because we're expected to continue to fulfill their pipeline, as we already discussed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we want to address those things, and I think Councilor Jackson mentioned them. Education, unemployment, underemployment, those things that are important. Homelessness, So I've already been in high-level meetings with IMPD Chief Roach and Prosecutor Mears about some specific efforts that we're going to plant on the Far East Side that are going to address the concerns that the people of the Far East Side have made clear to me is what's important to them within the criminal justice piece. But also within that piece, it's time that we start to figure out what's up with this divide between law enforcement and our community, why our community has a problem with law enforcement, why they got a problem with us. Some of it is on them.
I tell you why we got a problem with them.
Yeah, we got to figure this out because they got a job to do, and we want to let them do their job, but at the same time, we're not trying to, let them score points off of us because that's not what we're on this earth to do. But so the criminal justice piece, I believe, finally, the people want to be able to feel that they have a sense of community, and that starts with, a sense of security, and that starts with a sense of community. So within that sense of community, you become more secure, because we have events where we come together. So that's not some tall guy with a hoodie on. That's somebody's son that I know, because we've communed together. So I've already created on June 29th a family event at Gardner Park in my district that I was proud of to co-sponsor. So that's one of those things. The criminal justice reform, community revitalization is the other thing. And again, I've already made a $20 million pitch to important role players in community development. So with the community with the community revitalization, we typically talk about roads and streets and lights and all that infrastructure, but we're talking about that business revitalization and also that family unit revitalization. So I want to do the things that will be important to bring the family together. And then the final item, that community care, I want to be an available, accessible representative of the people in my community. I have not had an opportunity to share my information. I want to do that right now. My telephone number is 317-560-4554. Please text or give me a call if you have concerns or questions. Many people do. Be patient. I will respond. My email address is keith@keithlgraves.com. Please feel free to reach out at any time, because if you're in District 13, you're in my community, you're probably my neighbor, and I want to help. But what that means additionally is everyone in our community, from the youngest member, whether it's early childhood help, to the most senior members in our community that may need someone to wrap their arms around them as they move into their golden years. We want to make sure that we touch everybody. No one's left alone. So that continuum of community care is where I really feel is my forte, because it is that one that, because of my relationships in the city, I'm becoming a connector to whatever a person may be going through. Whether you lost your job on April 1st, we can start that process of you finding a job on April 2nd. Whether you found your way out of high school and you want to get back in, let's talk. That's why my phone number is out there. And I get at least one call a week about a family that is in need, and I am absolutely available to make that connection because I'm very familiar with families when they're in need and how that can be disruptive. So those are the three things: community revitalization, continuum of community care, which is what I call that, and that criminal justice reform. So those are the three things that I walked away from my meetings with.
And
I
then
ain't
we'll
gonna
wrap
let
up.
this freshman show me up. I didn't know we was gonna go. I thought we was going high level. Let me show you on education, even to know it's not us. And there's a charter school, Phelan Academy. They're trying to get a they're one of the few schools that does not have a proper gym for their scholars.
Students.
And so one of the things I went and met, they didn't ask me. I said, you know what, Mr. Phelan, what I can do for you, I can do X, Y, Z as a partner. I come to people as partners.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's a role you play and there's a role I play. And when I come to the table, they call me Jackson Action or Jackson Takes Action.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I said. Now, when he left me, I know he took notes like he's taking notes. Oh, she's lying. But I said, send me this follow-up. No. I'm saying this is what I'm thinking
Phelan.
Mr. Phelan was saying. But I said, send me everything we talked about in the email. He did the next day, and exactly what he did, I follow up, and I said, this is what you can do. You can use me, put together a referral letter, and tell people I'm supporting you in your efforts to fundraise for this gym. I said, how much is it? He told me. I said, and it's a nice amount if you know how much a gym is. I said, I'm going to help bring some people to the table to help you, the money-making people to bring. I brought a partnership. He possibly has his main sponsor. I brought that to a week later. We were sitting at the table, and he looked at me and said, you made this happen. Thank you. When he left the table, the person was sitting there. He said, so what level do you think you could possibly give? He said, I probably can be the title sponsor.
That's
and
awesome.
The principal, and he looked, and he sat back in his chair. He said, give me about 2 months because I have to have a board meeting. We don't meet until then. Then I need another time to get this together. But give me 2 to 3 months to follow back up with you. And I'll follow back up with you with an amount and what we can do as being that title sponsor. So I come to the table, and when I come with people that can make changes. So education is important to answer, even though it ain't in my realm, but what I could do is what I do from a community level. Number 2, I met with some community partners. I want to know how the foundation, the philanthropic world, the business world, and the community world can come together. People keep saying there's not jobs in Indianapolis.
Oh, it is.
That's not true. If you look at the data shows there's jobs. The challenge is there's a gap. So here's the employers, here's potential employees. They lack the skills or there's barriers here. So we got to figure out how to address these barriers. Is it transportation? Is it child care? Is it health care? Is it mental health? Is it, I don't want to start smoking weed long enough to go past this 30-day. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Quit playing. And whatever that is, to get or build them up, push them through a mini training skills to get them skills enough to pass the interview. Because y'all can't come to no interview. I've had this done to me. Y'all can't come to no interview and text the whole time in no interview. And y'all know what I'm talking about. So whatever we need to do.
Who doing that?
Y'all quit playing. Whatever we need to do to fill these gaps so that our employers can feel they got quality skilled laborers and that our people feel like they're getting livable wage jobs. That's a goal of mine as a counselor. We need to be, I don't need my people to work 3 jobs and they got little babies at home so they can put food over the table, have transportation, and put a roof over on their head. So this is what I want to work on as a counselor. And lastly, I want to keep putting these laws on the books. I'm about these laws. Because once these laws is on the book, y'all can't take them away. That's what but that's what people don't understand that I've been doing. Go check my record. I'm about these laws. These laws, gun violence laws. Look me up. I'm one of them only in the country that did a gun violence law, Proposal 275. That's probably only in the country recognizing Indianapolis as having a gun issue. That means we can get federal funding. That means we can have intergovernmental agencies working together like the health department with the city or with the coroner's office who gets money or whatever. That means we can prioritize our city funding. I'm about these laws. Y'all better look me up. When we get these laws on the book.
You said something
about these laws.
So those are my priorities. Get about these laws.
Get about these laws.
Because when we get these laws on the book, laws come with money.
Yeah.
Get with me.
Councilwoman, you said something
'Cause
real
we
powerful,
got
and I know
the
we
break
need to go, and you was talking about how everybody has their role. What I would like to see in our communities is that actually become a reality, because there's a lot of grassroots organizations that are doing things in the community. They advocate, for example, I'm part of the Nation of Islam. We advocate making our communities a decent and safe place to live. So in order to do that, we need the common man and woman to understand that you have a stake in your community. You are that police that we were talking about earlier, about how we create that relationship. Well, the way we create the relationship is we police our own communities and make it clean, like you said Carmel is. So when rogue folks come in and they see that, look, I can't cause any disruption here because they got it on lock.
Right.
So
I
at
got
the
a new
end
law
of the
that
day,
just passed 6 months ago.
real quick, I just want to make this point. I just want to
to
say at the end of the day, it's about everybody doing their role. So, and again, Cassandra, I know you want to go, but I know it's like when we get in these roles, what does that look like when y'all get in these positions? Because people going to be looking, okay, they did all this campaigning. They talked about all this stuff they were going to do to get you all to get our, the regular folks out here to cast their vote. But what does it look like after election?
No, I agree with you when you said policing
I think she
ourselves.
just said it.
Actually,
About these laws.
just today, I made a posted one of my commitments on Facebook on my page, and it is talking about elevating those grassroots organizations to allow them to be part of that our own policing ourselves level of oversight in our community. So that's just something I've been toying with, and I've encountered a lot of organizations, and I'm pleased with what I've seen, and I'm glad that we were able to appropriate some money for more funding for them so they can continue doing what they do. And I believe that if you got the police coming in to oversee your community, that's something I don't think we really want.
Come
like
on,
you
man.
mentioned, more police. I mean, what do y'all want? Police walking around with guns saying, hey, what are y'all doing? No,
Right.
we do it on our own.
That's
I don't
right.
need my next door neighbor to come in my house and help me run my house. So as a community, we just do it on our own. And I am not opposed to any of these grassroots organizations that I've encountered so far. I think that everybody has their own agenda, what they're doing, but we're all at the same time trying
That's
to
right.
improve the situation
That's
in our
right.
communities. So I'm in support of grassroots level neighborhood oversight and activism.
Beautiful.
If you want to see Councilor Keisha Jackson when I win re-election on November 5th, come down to the City County building. I'm on 5 committees. I'm chairman of 1. I suggest you, we have 5. We have 4 council meetings on addition to that. You can catch me live on Channel 16, or you can come downtown. If you don't catch me there, I'm at community meetings. I attend those regularly. I'm at HOA meetings. So I had people, those millennials you was talking about, I got 2 of them this week. I said, listen, he said, Count Justin, when can I see you more? I said, where you live at? And they told me the corners. I said, that's such and such HOA. Why wouldn't you? Oh, I don't come to the meetings. What happened? I said, you need to come to the HOA meeting. And they said, you know what? You got me. I said, come to the HOA meeting. They homeowners. So you got some millennials at the HOAs. I said, you catch me at the HOAs, catch me at the community. I'm going to be at the same places I've been. And I've been beefing up, due to my opponent, my social media, so you can spot fire where I'm at. You'll know where I'm at. But I'm going to keep doing it. I'm about these laws. I'm making laws for us so that it's in the books, so we got positive things that can help us. Because a law is a law once it's on the book. So I'm going to keep doing the same thing. But you can catch me at these places, which is in the community, which is at community events, meetings, HOAs, downtown. And I'll come to you all if you have a neighborhood, something you need me at. So just ask me. I'm at church, wherever you need me. That's where I'm at. But I'm accessible. I'm in a community. So you're going to see me where I've been. I'm about our business of our people in our city. And that includes from the rich down to the poor. Whether we mentally ill or whether we got a little bit of sanity going on, I'm about the people. I'm for the people, by the people. Thank you, and God bless you for Miss Cassandra for having me here, and Mr. Muhammad. I appreciate you guys.
So y'all got one last point. So here on Let's Go There, we like to leave our audience with what we call our final thoughts. So what that takeaway is, what you guys will leave the audience with, what you want to leave as your takeaway. So we'll start with CJ. What do you want to leave the audience with as a takeaway, as your final thoughts? And
I would
then
just
we'll
like
come
to
back
say
the council.
that, of course, I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to question and, of course, elaborate on some of the perspective that you all have. I would just like to say, at the end of the day, whoever wins, whoever loses, I would like to see that there be bridges put in place with some of the ruckus that's going on and whatnot, because it's really we just really delusional about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we know what the real source of power is. But when we get in these positions, we get in these